This is the face of a mass shooter, David Katz, showing no emotion as he plays in a Madden tournament against other pro gamers. Katz was an elite player known as Bread, who always had the same lifeless expression on his face whether he won or lost a game. During a professional Madden 19 tournament in Jacksonville, Florida, Katz refused to shake the hand of his opponent after losing to him and stormed out of the tournament. Shortly afterwards, he returned with 2 handguns and fired 12 rounds into the players and crowd. 2 people were killed and 10 others were wounded before Katz turned the gun on himself. This eerie photo shows the red dot from David's sight on the chest of 22-year-old victim Elijah Clayton, who made a last-minute decision to enter the tournament. It was later revealed that Katz had suffered from numerous mental illnesses and had been institutionalized several times throughout his life. EA Sports offered its most heartfelt sympathies and donated $1 million to the victims' families in lieu of the senseless tragedy. Morbid Facts, Part 95. In March of 1995, 33-year-old South Carolina man Terry Cottle took his own life by shooting himself in the throat with a shotgun. After spending 4 days in the trauma unit, Terry's wife Cheryl agreed to take him off life support and donate his organs. His heart ended up going to a 57-year-old man named Sonny Graham who was dying of heart failure. After a successful transplant, Sonny started writing to his donor's wife Cheryl. Over the next 10 years, the two ended up falling in love and eventually got married. Soon enough, people started to notice that Sonny was taking on some of Terry's personality and characteristics. He started liking things that he never enjoyed before, like beer and hot dogs, which were some of Terry's favorites. This isn't exactly uncommon in transplant recipients, as many people have reported taking on the tastes, emotions, and even the memories of their deceased donors. But this was taken to the extreme when 12 years later, Sonny ended up taking his own life the exact same way as Terry did, with a shotgun to the throat. Morbid Facts, Part 94. In 1999, Jay-Z stabbed a man with a 5-inch blade after rumors that the man was behind the bootlegging of one of his albums. He later pleaded guilty to third-degree assault and accepted a sentence of 3 years probation. In 1948, a farmer named Cecil Harris got pinned under his tractor on his Saskatchewan farm. Fearing he may not survive, he used a pocket knife to scratch his will into part of the tractor. It said, "In case I die in this mess, I leave all to my wife." This will was cut off the tractor and legally accepted by the court. Bayer, the German pharmaceutical company that produces aspirin, once marketed heroin as a pain remedy for kids. Philip Gale was a computer prodigy who was studying at MIT as a sophomore in 1998. One day, he wrote on the chalkboard Newton's equation for how an object accelerates when it falls, along with a sketch of a stick figure tossing a chair. He then signed it "Phil was here" before throwing a chair through the window and jumping to his immediate death. This is why you should never trust a pair of twins. Morbid Facts, Part 93. Ever since they were little kids, twins June and Jennifer Gibbons refused to speak to anybody other than each other. They were disturbingly inseparable and seemed to use a private language that only they could understand. By the time the girls turned 18, they had committed numerous criminal offenses and were sent to a high-security mental hospital in 1981. Years before this, they apparently made a long-standing agreement that if one of them died, the other must begin to speak and live a normal life. After 12 years at the asylum, they decided it was time for one of them to die, and Jennifer agreed to make the sacrifice. In March of 1993, Jennifer was taken to the hospital where she soon died from a sudden inflammation of the heart. There was no evidence of drugs, poison, or alcohol in her system. It was almost as if she just died out of nowhere. Afterwards, June said she was finally liberated from her sister and was eventually released from the hospital. She now speaks to others and has lived a relatively normal life ever since.